Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another pre-market live stream here. Good morning, Josh. Glad to have you on here this morning. So we are going to get started here soon. So far today seems as if we might be on, excuse me. Seems as if we might be on to a little bit of a slow start, which is okay. Sometimes Monday mornings can be like that. There aren't quite any really good earnings plays today, so we have slowed down as far as earnings plays go. But I do believe we're still going to have a pretty active day with the stocks that were in play from Thursday and Friday. So considering that I don't really like anything this morning pre-market, whether gapping up or gapping down, I'm going to result back to plays from Thursday and plays from Friday. Because a lot of times the stocks that are hot from Thursday or Friday can continue over for a couple days, right? So those are going to be the stocks that I'm primarily going to be focusing on today. Now, with no further ado, I will get into sharing the screen and we'll get looking at these few plays. All right, so the first one I'm going to talk about will be, first we'll talk about Roku. All right, guys, so first stock on my watch list here today will be Roku. So we can start here with the daily chart. And as many of you know, by looking at this daily chart, you'll see that Roku had a 52-week high resistance at 58.59. It broke through that 52-week high resistance. Okay, and then it came down, it broke through the 52-week high, got all the way up to $60.65. Now, if you look at the daily chart here, the daily chart does show a signal of a seller's candle, and I'll zoom in on that actually. So right here, this candle that has a high of $60.65, that candle right there represents Friday's trading day. And as you can see, it sold off before the end of the day. Whenever a stock goes up like that, sells off before the end of the day, that shows a sign of weakness. Not to mention, if you look at Roku from its earnings, the stock had a big push. That yellow box is representing the whole push, the gap up and all the way up. So basically gap from 45 all the way up to $60. So it had about a 15 share push over the last couple days. With that being said, that's a big move to the upside, and the likelihood of seeing this coming down just a little bit or pulling back a little bit, it's pretty good. There's a big gap from the 9 moving average to the current price on the chart. So it does have a little bit of room to come down. But it sold off pretty big before the end of the day. So this makes me a little bit nervous about entirely being short bias on the stock. So here's the deal, right? You can see right now that Roku is holding a support from Thursday's trading, right? So this is Friday, this day right here, this is Friday. So, right, so F for Friday and T for Thursday. And if you look at it, Thursday, it had this high of day right at about $57. So if I drew a line here, you'll see that Roku popped up and it dropped all the way back down to this level. And now it's holding a support there and it's starting to curl up and off that level. So for me, being short bias, the only way I could really justify getting short on Roku is if it can break down below this price point of $58. So I'm a little hesitant to shorting it. But I do believe there is a strong possibility that it might in fact break down below 58 and we could see it start dropping out. Now, if you were to draw a trend line from Wednesday, or well, no, that's still Thursday. So if you go from Thursday pre-market and up, let me redo that. Hold on. You'll see that we have broken through that trend line support. So Today, for what I'm looking at, I will be watching Roku short. I don't necessarily think it's going to have a big run and a big rip like it did Friday. So what I'm going to watch for today is to see if it pops up, keeps trending up, and it hits this trend line. If it can hit this trend line, I'll probably then enter short off that trend line for rejection, okay? So that's what I'm currently looking for, some type of rejection off this trend line from Thursday following the lows, okay? And then secondly, let me draw this out here. Where I'm really looking to maybe enter short on Roku is probably going to be right around, probably like right around the $59, 59.30s, 59s. Basically what I'm looking at here is these low points right here and this consolidation mark. So drawing a line straight through there, I think that we could see Roku pop up, you know, as high as 59.20, 59.30s and start rejecting there. But there's also a strong chance that this will pick up and push all the way up towards this trend line, and we might get a rejection there. So I want to be short bias altogether on Roku, but this might not be the day that it gets short. It so far is holding a pretty good support right off the $58 level. So this might lead to a choppy consolidation day. But for right now, we'll be watching Roku. And for you guys, I would recommend to keep it on watch, because if we do successfully break down the $58 price point, we could see a good drop on it, possibly down to the $46 level, or not 46, sorry, $56 level. So good morning to everybody too as well. All right. Next on the watch list is going to be, we'll talk about Yelp. So Yelp is very, very similar to Roku, okay? Yelp honestly looks almost identical to Roku in a sense. All right, so for me with Yelp, it's kind of the same game plan as Roku. As you can see, these charts almost, if you go and look at Roku and you look at Yelp, they look almost identical. And it's the same plan here, right? Looking for Roku or Yelp to start breaking down the $49 price point. If you were to go and look at Thursday's high a day area, it has a support system, or it had a resistance right about $49, right? So right here, it had like a support. We popped up, we broke over, and now it's coming back down. And so far, it's holding that level. So I think if Roku, God, I keep saying Roku. I think if Yelp can break down this $49 price point, we could see a nice kind of drop on Yelp. So what we're playing here is the idea that Yelp and Roku are both overextended on the daily chart, and they're due for a little bit of a pullback. Ideally, what we're looking for is a first red day setup. First red day setup, basically meaning the stock has been on a good run to the upside, and we're looking for the first day in which it gaps down and continues to run to the downside. So the game plan for Yelp is ideally the same game plan for Roku. So I'm not going to touch too much more here on Yelp, considering it's almost the same exact play as Roku. All right. So I'm just going to speed up, jump ahead to next one on the list, which is Dropbox. So Dropbox did part of what we thought it would do on Friday. Right on Friday, I said we can watch Dropbox short, but I don't honestly think it's going to be a short day. I said I was more long bias on Dropbox for the day, in which it almost did break to the upside a few times, but it kept getting stuffed and hung up right around the $32 price point. So again, we had this big earnings play where it just smashed from 37 down, and then we had more of a choppy kind of trading day on Dropbox. Now, there's a lot of people out there that are going to be watching Dropbox short. I'm watching it short, but I'm actually currently more long biased on Dropbox. I have this feeling that Dropbox is actually going to be a long bias trade for the day, because we had a massive gap down, and then we had a lot of choppy kind of trading taking place, and we never really successfully broke down below $31. You know, we never really broke down below $31. In this morning pre-market, we are actually sort of trending up. So today, I'm going to be watching Dropbox to the long side. So if you were to draw a trend line from the pre-market high Thursday following down, the daily highs from Friday, you'll see we're actually currently breaking over that trend line. So we are kind of changing trend here a little bit on a short-term play. So the idea here is that we probably had a lot of people buying in short and long on Dropbox Friday. I'm playing the idea that Dropbox, this gap down, doesn't really want to go any lower. And I'm playing the idea that we're actually going to squeeze up today out of the gates and we're going to go on a little bit of a run. So today I'm going to be playing Dropbox, hopefully to the long side. I'm not counting Dropbox out to the short side, but I will be anticipating Dropbox will be a long bias play today, considering the gap down did not fade out and we actually held pretty well. And I'm interested to see if Dropbox is going to squeeze out some of the short sellers from Friday and cause an early morning squeeze like that. And if Dropbox does do such thing, do note that 32 is a strong resistance spot. So if it does pop up, understand that 32 could be the mark in which it gets stuffed at again. But if it can successfully break up and over 32, we should see a good pop because there are a lot of people that were shorting Roku at 32, trying to keep that price below 32. So if we actually curl up and over 32, all the short sellers from Friday are going to squeeze their positions and we could see a nice pop and run. From there, you might as well be marking off each kind of key level. So you have one at 32. You should mark one off at about 32.30. Another one off here at 32.50. Another one off here at 32.87. And then another one here at the $33 mark, et cetera, all the way up following all these kind of little low points, in which those could be areas where we see some resistance. So I am going to be watching Dropbox to the long side, anticipating that we're going to squeeze the short sellers out from Friday's trading. All right. Secondly, if you look at the daily chart, Dropbox, remember I said I don't necessarily think Dropbox is really going to sell off because we had this big push. It came down and it came down right into support, right? If you look at all this consolidation that took place on Dropbox, that's literally where the price dropped to, is all this consolidation. So I don't really expect Dropbox to really move much lower. I think it kind of want to push higher personally. Okay. If I said Roku, I apologize. It's Dropbox. I just do this way too often. Everything becomes a blur sometimes. So Dropbox, to me, I honestly want to watch it to the long side. Now, not the last one, but next one on the list is TTD. So TTD was the earnings play on Friday in which we said to watch long. And unfortunately for me, I ended up not trading it because I was focused on Dropbox. So I missed a monster move, and that's okay. So today, what I'm doing is I'm going to be watching TTD to the long side. TTD gapped up. So TTD had the massive gap up, the massive run, and it held its highs. It did not sell off, and it's continuing to hold its highs. So for me today, I will be watching TTD for a continuation play to the upside, anticipating that it will end up picking up and running to the upside, same as we've seen Roku and both Yelp do. So if you look at Roku's earnings smashed, ran up, held its high, and had another continuation. Yelp, same thing. Yelp had its earnings, popped up, ran, consolidated, held its highs, and had another run. So a continuation. So the same thing for TTD is anticipating that we had the gap up, the run, we held the highs, we consolidated, we're going to go for a second continuation to the upside. So for me, TTD is going to be a long bias trade. TTD is at a 52-week high, so there's really no overhead resistance other than its previous high a day, which is at 130.84. So for me personally, I would like to see TTD to the long side, but first I want to see it try and go lower. I want to see it kind of push lower and then fail the short and squeeze up some shorts and then go for a push. Okay, so watch TTD for first like a little mini dip and then a long bias trade. Daniel, I do not use MACD and I do not use RSI in terms of day trading. Those are good for me personally. I see those as good swing trading indicators, but not good day trading indicators. And I could tell there's reasons why, but no, I do not use RSI. I do not use moving average crossover divergences, which is the MACD, or relative strength index, which is RSI. I don't use those in terms of day trading, as I see very little to, not very little, there is value, but in terms of day trading, it doesn't really help me. For others, it might. For people who can't see trend or cannot understand price action and order flow as well as I do, then yeah, it can help them a little bit. But regardless, those are secondary indicators that do not help you determine the initial move of a stock, because RSI and MACD, or the moving average crossover divergence indicator, those are lagging or delaying indicators. Those indicators only move once price action has moved. So therefore, any signal you receive from those two indicators are delayed, and you get a better signal just by the chart or price action, because price action determines the results and the representation of what the MACD and RSI do. So if the price action determines what the RSI and the MACD will present, then that means those are lagging or delaying indicators from the original price action, which then means if you become comfortable enough and your skill set improves, you're better off looking at the price action on a chart rather than looking at or timing an entry based off of those two indicators in terms of day trading. Now, there's a lot of if, ands, thens, buts, different scenarios in which you could, use the MACD and RSI into day trading. And someone could say, well, it's good if you use it this way, which there is. But in terms of myself, when I'm doing very fast-paced trading, price action is king. And those two indicators are delayed indicators that don't really help me to determine an entry or an exit, really, right? So in terms of like a swing trade, right? If we were talking swing trading, yeah, those are great indicators for swing trading, because in the long-term perspective, what you're trying to do with a swing trade is you're trying to determine that there's going to be a change in momentum, a change in direction in which we might swing long or swing short. And when you're swing trading, you don't necessarily have to make sure your entry is spot on by like a penny or 5 cents or 10 cents, right? Because in a swing trade, you're looking for a long-term, like a big push, where those indicators, though they are delayed or lagging on price action, they are more accurate in a long-term time frame or used accordingly to a long-term perspective or a swing trade approach, because you have more time to get into your position with the swing trade, whereas with the day trade, it's in and out, type of thing. So in relation to swing trading, great tools. In relation to day trading, I don't find them very useful. Okay. So with TTD, we'll finish this one up. Watch TTD for a long. It's up really big, so you're going to have a lot of short sellers that anticipate this could have a big drop out of the gates, which it might. But I still think the sentiment is long biased, and we're going to see those shorts get squeezed out early in the morning. Yes, I do use 50-day, 100-day moving averages. All the moving averages on my chart are a 9 moving average, 20 moving average, 50 moving average, 100, 200. So 9, 20, 50, 100, 200. And then the VWAP. Only the middle band VWAP. All right, last one on the watch list here this morning is ABIL. I haven't seen ABIL in a while, so it might not look as good as it once did. So is there any news on ABIL this morning? No news on ABIL. All right, so ABIL is the big penny stock this morning that's pushing higher. So all this looks like to me is the stock ran up. What was this? So this would have been Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So the stock ran up Wednesday. It got short sold, shorted again, maybe a little bit more short. Next thing you know, gaps up. Now we're getting short sellers covering. They're causing the stock to go higher. It's starting to roll over. This could result in another push to the upside just because of the pattern I'm seeing. I'm just seeing a pattern that looks like we could have a nice run. I think what we're going to see happen, if anything, if this stock is going to go higher today, what we're probably going to see is a drop out of the gates, and then it's going to go like that. I would anticipate that what's mostly going to happen is a bunch of short sellers pile in here at the top pre-market. They try to push it down, and then the buyers come back in, step up, and they squeeze out the short sellers from this morning. So I am watching it long, but I'm not very, very concerned with trading this. Again, there's nothing this morning that looks fantastic. So today is going to be a day where I take a more cautious and patient approach to trading, because I'd rather just have a plus 200, plus 300 day rather than trying to smash in a position and hit, a $2,000 winner on a day where I don't really feel the setups are A1. I don't see any phenomenal A plus setups. So I'm not going to trade like there's an A plus setup. I'm going to trade as if there's not an A plus setup. And I'm going to take my time, slower approach to trading today, because it's always good when you're not feeling it, you shouldn't go balls to the walls, right? I don't trade crypto. I don't trade Forex. Yeah, Forex, I mean, some could say it's more it all depends. I've seen plenty of cryptos that aren't liquid. I've never involved myself in Forex trading, so I really couldn't touch on that realm of things. If you feel that they're more liquid and you want to take that approach to your trading, then by all means, knock yourself out. But that's part of the business in stock trading, is it's your job to find the stocks that are liquid so you can trade them, right? Like that's the whole idea. And you're absolutely right. Some days there's not going to be much, and some days will be more. But another thing to mention here, to Flyman, is that it's summertime. Summertime is slower in the market. And when we get back to winter, things will heat up. They will be faster paced. There will be more plays. Things will be off the walls. Better opportunity throughout the winter season. Yeah, PB&J, I'm all with you on that one. I'm not quite sure, but we'll see. PRPO, from what I understand, that's a stock that is not very good. So other than that, guys, we will end it there, just because that's really it. I don't really have too much more. I mean, there's always stocks to talk about. Oh, excuse me. And there's always more stocks to trade. I miss plays all day long, every day, guys. I'm not perfect by all means. There will be stocks that are not on my watch list that are the best stocks to trade for the day, right? So some days I will put on my watch list the best stocks to trade for the day. It's very hard to be 100% perfect with every stock. Regardless of perfect, it doesn't matter. I mean, there's like thousands of stocks in the market that you can trade on any given day. You never know when news is going to break. You can never analyze every single stock. You cannot find every single key setup. You're going to overlook a good setup from time to time, and you're going to miss it and go, "Wow, that was right there. That was obvious." Like, now when you look back, like, what were you thinking? Who knows? Doesn't matter. Just understand that you're not going to always be spot on with the stocks you're watching. Stocks won't always work out the same way you want them to, and that's why we have things like risk management, patience, no FOMO, things like that to kind of help us from creating a bigger problem for ourselves. Now, Labatt Blue. Now, with that being said, again, those are all the stocks I'm watching today. Am I crazy about the watch list? Not really, but I am recommending to keep an eye on all the stocks I know that have been in play for the past couple days. And stocks that have been in play for the past couple days tend to be the stocks that continue to be in play if nothing else seems very good. Now, of course, I'm still going to be running our scanners, our momentum scanner, high day scanner, reversal scanner, parabolic scanners in our private chat room, so that if something does pop up, we'll know about it. So if we can't find it now and it's out there and it starts moving, we'll find it and we'll know about it when it comes. But for right now, it's more of a lax day for stocks that I'll be watching. Yes, cut losses quickly. Don't hold them. If any of you guys have tuned into some of the live trading video recaps that we post from our private group, last week was a little kind of all over the place for me. Monday, I had a phenomenal day. And then I had some just kind of choppy trading throughout. Actually, I did fairly well. I was up over $1,000 every single day this week, but just kind of gave back profits from erratic decision making and taking positions just to take them. Part of which is I know that I'm posting these videos for you guys, so there is a sense to me that wants to nail another good trade. Like when I'm up, like for example on was it Friday? I think it was Friday. I think it was Friday. I was up over like $1,200, and then I took a position on AWX, and then I got hammered, lost all my money, and put myself down 800. I ended up finishing the day up 500. But I was up 1,200, took a big position, AWX, on like a little bit of a bull flag pennant. Was pretty good. I popped up. I was in the green, ran into unforeseen sellers. They smashed the price back down. Next thing you know, I lose like $2,000 or something, and I'm down $800 on the day. Part of me also wanted to make that additional trade for the live video. So there is a sense of me that on these days, it was like, well, I'm up good, but I also want to hit another trade so that you guys can see it. Right? That is the idea. That's the goal. It's always awesome to trade well and to be able to show that to other people. So that is part of the issue I ran into last week, but I'm not going to make that an issue this week. All right. Whatever trades I take are solely based on what I want to take. So I'm just stating that was part of the problem I felt last week, was trying to get that extra trade on the video for YouTube, which I'm not going to do this week just because it didn't result in me trading very well. So anywho, but that's right. You guys learn from both wins and losses. I'm just not going to make it a thing where I try to get another trade in there just so you guys can see it. If I'm comfortable with where I'm at, I'm going to stop and cut the video off and things like that. But regardless, you guys know the deal. That's all I have for today. I will see you guys all tomorrow morning. We should have, I'll give you a little sneak peek behind us 1 second here. Let me get this off. So hold on. I don't even know if I can see what I'm looking at here. Give me a second. So this is behind me. So this is kind of like an office space here. I got some new lights and some new things set up for doing some videos and some recordings. So anyways, I had a buddy of mine over just yesterday help me out with a new video. So there should be kind of a new feel and a new approach to some of the videos that we'll be uploading here onto the YouTube channel. So when those start coming out, I would love for you guys to give me some feedback on some of the editing and the quality of the videos, and see if this is kind of an approach you'll like. They're not going to all be this way, but they are going to be a little bit different. All right. Most of my trades are always day trades. No, I'm not. Yeah. So we'll see anyway. So let's see. There's so many comments to go through. Exactly, Cooley. That's what kind of hammered me. So that's the thing, right? I made 6,600 Monday trading. What did I do? I made 6,600 trading Monday. I made 450 trading Tuesday after being up like 1,400, and then Thursday or Wednesday I ended up, I think, losing a couple hundred, maybe even 1,000. Then Thursday, I ended up making $150 after being up like 1,000. So it was just a day of, but that's why I said, anytime I hit a major win, for some reason, I always like fall apart for a couple days. So anywho, we're going to end it there. I will see you guys all tomorrow morning and for another video here later today. When I get the new video up with the new edits, do feel free to watch that. Give me some feedback on it. I would really appreciate it. Other than that, I will see you guys all. I'll see you guys all from 100. Yeah, I made $150 after being up like 1,000. It was all weird. Anyways, you guys will see today. I will post a video. And other than that, have a good day, guys, and I will see you guys all tomorrow.